Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. Today we are doing another StarCraft 2 game. Finally, the production tab actually wants to open. This is EmpireKas against FnaticRCTod, and it is, as you can see, a Protoss versus Terran, or Terran versus Protoss, whatever. Anyway, we will be seeing a lot of fights, I'm sure. Normally this is kind of a build up in the beginning, and then we go at each other with the somewhat higher tier units, like well, not the zealots but the stalkers, so they're not actually high tier units. And instead of marines you normally go for marauders, which are not exactly high tier units but still higher tier than we see in other matchups. And yeah, so normally this is Marines and Marauders for the Terran player against Stalkers and Zealots for the Protoss player. And yeah, it's of course all about what you want to build. We see a barracks going down already for our Terran player, so not going into that fast expand or anything like that, just a regular game. And this supply depot is here to kind of block the probe from going through the minerals here. So if a probe from the enemy player comes into your base and runs behind your minerals, now you can send some units over here, send some units over here, and then you have it boxed in. If you leave this open, then the probe can just walk out through this and then go either here or there, and it's a lot harder to actually catch it. And there's the probe. And there is going to be a fast expand for our Protoss player here, and he is going into a gateway now. But this base is either going to be a really good choice or it's going to be a terrible choice, because it either is going to do really well and then it will get you a lot more resources, or it's going to do really badly and not get you any resources. It seems that my replay has crashed here. So we're going to try to restart it. Oh. Yep, there we go. And let's fast forward until we actually see this. Yep, there we go. Gateway, there we were. We were somewhere over here. So apparently not forced cross positions, although they are cross positions, which means on the other side of the map. So top left, bottom right, or top right, bottom left. But yeah, they are going to scout well, each other in the second place, of course. And that means that with both of them scouting at the same moment, they kind of have the chance to prepare their defenses for what they can see. And obviously, all the Protoss saw there was that one marine, which is not a big deal. I mean, marines are obviously out, or one marine is obviously out, because you need the barracks to build all of the rest of the buildings. And the SCV is going to see a whole lot more. He's going to see this expansion coming up, and he's going to see that there's one gateway completed, two more coming up, no, one more coming up with the cybernetics core, and now a second one coming up, rather third one. So yeah, the Zealot is going to probably defend this part and maybe even go all the way in. But for now the probe is at least making it out, and I'm not sure what this Zealot is trying to do here, but it's all good. He's still alive, and there's no attack incoming. So anyway, the Terran player expanded as well, so he makes up for that that little bit of time between his expansion and this expansion by just going for the mules. The mules who mine extra minerals for you. They're not an actual unit; they can be produced by your command center, and yeah, the mules last for 90 seconds. They get you something like 300 minerals, 375, I don't know. Something pretty big, at least 300 minerals, pretty big deal. But if you look at the command center, you have 3 abilities and all of them cost 50 energy. So if you use the mule, you get, let's say, 300 minerals. But if you use the extra supplies or the scanner sweep instead, then you lose 300 minerals. So that can be a really big deal, and that's why people generally don't want to do that. The robotics facility going down. We currently have no units on the map yet, and there are no units producing either. But he is just building. Well, the no units means, yeah, he has 1 stalker and 1 zealot somewhere. 2 stalkers, 1 zealot. Okay, now I'm going to check. He has 3 stalkers, 1 zealot, and 40 probes. So yeah, generally we see a lot of building up of the economy. That's SCVs and probes, because those are the units that will actually get you into the late game, and those are the units that will allow you to build other units. And the more you have, of course, the better it is. So as you can see, 7 gateways now, and he is going to get that warp gate research going, producing 1 observer here. The warp gate research is it's already done. Must have clicked it a little bit too late. Anyway, all of these are going to be warp gates now, and the warp gates are the ones that allow you to get new units anywhere where there's pylon power, as it's called, the light blue stuff. And you can just make your whole army wherever you want, as long as there's a pylon there. So at this base you cannot do that yet, but once this pylon completes, they're going to be built right now. And once they complete, you will have pylon power there, and you will be able to warp in an entire army. As long as you have enough warp gates and enough minerals and gas, so resources, you should be able to do that. So the stalkers coming in to snipe that 1 marine that was there and gain control of this tower. This tower provides vision, as you can see, up to here, and you can see that on the minimap as well. It's a big circle around the tower. Most of the maps do have one, and it allows you to see armies coming, like right now. And he is just going to leave 1 of the marines there and back off with the rest of his army. So observer is going to spot where the enemy army is, as well as maybe what he's doing. So the robotics facility is kind of sitting there for the moment. He should be producing a Colossus probably, but he doesn't have the minerals to support that. So he is going for or he's waiting a little bit and going to warp in his units with this with this bunch. The warp gates, of course, very useful in defending bases, but also in attacking, because you can build a pylon over here somewhere. So for example over here, and then while you're attacking you can supply your army with new troops over here, and that way they don't have to run all the way across the map. So in the other base we see lots of supply depots and such. We see that the starport has a reactor on it, allowing it to produce 2 units at a time, and he is building a new starport here, which may actually switch with this guy, get that reactor going. And yeah, the tech lab already done with most of the upgrades, well, all of the useful upgrades for his infantry. Only the nitro pack still available, and reapers, yeah, they're not used a whole lot, so, or not anymore I should say. They were nerfed pretty hard the last time they were nerfed, and yeah, that kind of means that nobody uses them anymore. They used to be really good, people used them all the time, and now, yeah, nobody uses them anymore. The unit is still good, it's just that they cost too much to produce. It takes too long, and oh wow, the 2 armies meeting here, but the Protoss definitely not ready for that. He's going to send out his observer to scout where the army is, and I think he did see this one. Not actually sure, it doesn't say whether he saw it, but I think he did see it, and now he definitely saw it. Oh no, he might not. I might have missed it there. Oh man. At least this pylon will definitely see it before it drops the units, but is he going to be backing off in time? No, his army is all the way over here, and he can see it now. But where is the drop going to come in? Oh, yeah, it is going to get sniped. Come on. Well, the entire drop is going to get sniped. The one Marauder not going to do a whole lot. And yep, there we go. Getting the kills. And I don't think he sniped any drones there. Well, one worker killed by the blue, not by the red. So he didn't get anything done there. So units lost 10 units to 4. The amount is about the same. There's 100 resource difference between them. And the medevac is still over here. It might get sniped at some point, but not for now. For now it is safely sitting in the back there. It is kind of lost resources for now, because he doesn't really have anything to, or he can't really do anything with it. He has to fly it all the way back to the base. And then, well, because it's at 10 hit points, he needs to repair it, and that costs minerals, and so kind of lost that ship as well. Anyhow, we can see that well, the army of the Protoss is currently bigger than that of the Terran player. Hang on, yep. But the Terran player is investing heavily in upgrades, so these are all upgrades. But also the Protoss has the level 3 upgrades going. So both of them going for that heavy upgrade strategy and going for level 3 weapons immediately. And the armor, yeah, not so much yet, for the Protoss at least. For the Terran player, he does have that level 2 armor going, and actually now has level 3 armor, and that is going to make a big difference, because that reduces all of the damage by 3 on the Marines and by even more on other units. So this guy actually gets 4 armor from the level 3, but that means that everything gets reduced by 4. So instead of doing 15 damage, because these do 15 or 16 now with the upgrades, 16 damage, it becomes 12 damage to the Marauders. And because the Marines have 3 armor, the damage, they're light, so the damage becomes 9 from 12. But yeah, once the Protoss, yeah, the Protoss has that level up now. So hang on. We see a large group coming in. All of these High Templars really want to cast some Psionic Storm or Psi Storm or just Storm on them. And yeah, they're going to try to do as much damage as they possibly can with those AoE storms. And unfortunately for the Protoss player, he gets, or his base gets killed. And a lot of storms going off on his own zealots instead of on the enemy, well, on the enemy units. But the Colossi are going to do very, very well. They're going to pick off everything, and now, well, the airplanes, the medevacs also die. So we still have a Protoss army. Sorry, we don't have a Terran army anymore. So it's 2 Colossi, which are the really big ones. They're really expensive as well. 6 Stalkers, 3 Sentries, and 5 High Templars versus, well, 9 Marines and some Marauders, and the Vikings now coming in. The Vikings can actually attack the Colossus, because the Colossus is considered both ground and air. So you can attack it with ground only, air only, and of course with the ground and air ones. But yeah, it is considered, because it's so high, it's considered air as well. And the best units against it are the Vikings. Vikings have 9 range. That's an incredible amount, and yeah, as you can see, versus armored, they do extra damage, and of course the Colossus is armored, and yeah, all in all, it's just a great thing. Missile turrets, by the way, they shoot the enemy air units, and they can detect things like Dark Templar, which, as you can see, is invisible, and then with the scan becomes visible. But they can also attack the Colossi, the missile turrets, because they can shoot at air units, and the Colossus is considered an air unit. So yeah, he was trying to get in with a Dark Templar, another Dark Templar coming up, but every time that the enemy needs to scan, it's another mule that's not being produced, and that means another 300 or something minerals. And he is going to one-hit all of these SCVs. SCVs that get killed in one hit, or units that get killed in one hit, are not well, don't give you the warning that someone is attacking your units. So there you saw it, another scan going down, and that is of course a really great advantage of having those stealth units. More and more of the stealth units on the map, and he is just trying to do some damage with them and make sure that the enemy stays in his base, because if he doesn't stay in his base, these Dark Templar are going to just completely ruin his day. And wow, missed the drop. He was hanging around there for so long. Anyhow, we will see the drop come in, and yeah, he was hanging around here for quite a long time. So he is, yeah, he was going to snipe this one, and then the drop comes back. Where is it? Over here. The drops comes back, and because there are no more units here, he can freely fly up to the enemy base, drop his High Templar, and launch some storms over the SCVs. And immediately the SCVs die. He's going to build a new missile turret to make sure that that doesn't happen again. But the High Templar got out, the Warp Prism got out, and all in all, it's just a great win there for our Protoss player, who gets to do a lot of damage here. 47 drones, no, SCVs, sorry. Let's call them workers. 47 workers killed against 5 on the enemy team. So the Terran player is coming in here, and he has a pretty big army with him. He's going to snipe this base, no problem. But the Protoss army is going to stop this on the other side, and we see the observer coming in over here, and observer gets sniped. And with the snipe on the observer, the ghosts will be invisible, so he won't be able to see them. But with all of this AoE damage, he might still be able to pick them off, because it doesn't matter whether you can see them or not. If you attack the right spot, then they will still die. So High Templar will work against them, the splash from the Archons will work against them, and the Colossi worked against them, but yeah, they all died, everything died. The Terran army just coming in, it seems stronger now than the Protoss army, so even though he did a lot of harassment, he really isn't able to keep his army alive. So yeah, or his bases even. I mean, his bases also died, and he is going to try to find that army. Army is going to find a pylon over here that was used to warp in some new units to come in from the back, and a new base coming up over there. But yeah, well, oh, he does see this. And the Dark Templar is going to attempt to kill some units over here. But yeah, the scan goes down, and immediately he gets killed. And that's the way that works. So yeah, the units are going to come in. They're going to destroy the destructible rocks first, and after that they're going to move into this base and kill it. The base can still be cancelled though. And another Dark Templar warped in. The base does get cancelled. I think I didn't actually see that, but lots of invisible units, and they are going to try to snipe some of the these enemies, and literally snipe, because they have an ability that's called snipe. Sniper rounds. So yeah, the Terran army now up at the ramp of the expansion there, and yeah, because this base was completely mined out, and the other base, this base was completely mined out, and this base is completely mined out. So all three of the bases have no minerals left, and therefore, well, sniping all of these other bases, I mean this base was going to go down obviously, made sure that the Protoss army didn't have any bases left to mine from. So his mistake here was he tried to expand over here, and over here at the same time, and couldn't defend all of the bases. In fact, lost all of them one by one. And yeah, his army got sniped because he didn't invest enough in that army. And can we actually see that? Resources spent. So the army for the Terran player is actually less, the technology is less, and the economy is a little bit more, but that's because he lost, as you can see, all of those workers. He still has 30 more workers killed, and that's a whole lot. But it's just that, well, the units from the Protoss player could not go up against the Terran army. The Terran army has a lot of marauders in them. Wow, that is a whole lot of marauders. And yeah, those marauders are going to do very well against these colossi, against the zealots, because they have a slow, and against the stalkers, because the stalkers also, well, just do reduce damage to them. So everything does reduce damage to the marauders, because marauders are armed, are armored, sorry, and they have 4 extra armor. And all in all, this just makes that the Terran army was just better at, well, just staying alive, not so much doing more damage, because I'm pretty sure that the Protoss army you had in the beginning did more damage, but it just died instantly. So it could do a little bit of damage and then everything died, and he only had a few stalkers left, and all in all that was not enough. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.